This is Luis Souza from rawveganpower.com, and we have here today a very sexy guest, Drew McCall Burke
Cheers.
from Sexy Raw Fitness.com. She is also the author of Be a Sexy Raw Vegan in 30 Days, and she is the sexy raw vegan who wants all of us to be sexy raw vegans, right,
I sure
Drew?
do. I sure do. You know, my mission is to turn this world on to a raw vegan diet, one sexy earthling at a time.
Yeah, and that's so cool. I
And that's
was,
worth the cheers.
yeah, sure. You are making something a step further, right? Because you not only want people to be healthy, but sexy as well, right?
It's very human to want to be desired, especially the female of our species, right?
Sure, sure. And
Women
then
do
you
a
are
lot of
making,
things to themselves to make themselves desirable. And,
and
you know, a healthy lifestyle, a raw vegan diet will bring out more sensuality, feeling. The sensual nervous system wakes up in such a way when you release inflammation and mucus throughout your body. And in that process, it's a more organic way to bring out your beauty, and that's why I grab hold of the sex appeal of a raw vegan diet, and I think it's a very worthy cause.
I agree 100% with you. And but tell us your story, how you first started being a raw vegan and so on.
Well, I'll tell you, I was in physical therapy school, and I read a book called The Skinny Bitch. And it was a very snarky, fun book. And by page 2, I was vegan, you know. And the girls in my class got me a Facebook page. And when you type in the words vegan or you search out vegan on Facebook, you're gonna get like 3,000 friends.
Right.
And people are very willing to share information about being vegan and eating a plant-based diet. So that's pretty much how I started down this road. And the internet is a fabulous way to search for information, and it's all out there for anybody that really wants to learn and open their minds and their hearts to a vegan diet.
And I believe once you started being a raw vegan, you should um, feel some difference in your skin, in your hair.
Yeah. Well, you know, I weighed 171 pounds, Louis. I did.
Oh,
Shocking. I was always called a big girl, you know. I was told I had a big athletic build and that it was in my genes, it was genetic. And, you know, really, there's a misconception about the size of people, especially in the United States, right?
you're right.
But you know, it's now
Not
spreading
only,
across
I would
the
say that's
planet.
not only in the United States.
It not anymore. You're
Yeah.
really right about that. You know, I just read that Australia is now the most the fattest nation in the world, for
Oh,
lack of a
really?
better term. But yeah, and the size of people in other countries is starting to grow, and so this is something that's very relevant to our health, right? And so I started seeing people on the internet that were raw vegan, and they looked amazing, and they always spoke of such amazing health. And I saw this girl, her name is Teresa Jordan, and she's really just amazing at, she's now 56 years old, and she can,
56.
yep, she can rock a bikini like anybody, you know, a 19-year-old. She's really hot, and she does yoga and is really into a raw vegan diet, and she did a juice cleansing book. So I followed her juicing, and I immediately felt such a big difference. It was really incredible. You know, going vegan, I immediately lost about 25 pounds, right? I stopped
Immediately.
eating dairy and meat. So my weight slid down to like 140, 150, and everybody noticed a change, and I was very happy. Um, and I really kind of, you know, I heard about the raw diet, and I was like, but I liked my comfort food. I like to cook food. It seemed to be a real extreme way to eat. And so that changed when I went through those few days of juicing because my body just was ready. And it really, that cleansing allowed my senses to awaken, right?
Right.
And so I actually didn't do so well on the juice cleanse. After a couple of days, I broke my fast. So I did a lot of research on it. I went online and I signed up for a course from Cornell University, their online program of a plant-based nutrition certification. And in that process, I started to really learn the background on food. Now, at the same time, I was in physical therapy school. I was learning about anatomy, physiology, and biology. So the combination of the two really helped me to become aware of what we eat and how it affects our body. Okay, so this was a big change for me, and I decided to do a juice cleanse, and I wrote a book about it. And it's the first book I wrote. It's called the Sexy Raw Vegan 5-Day Juice Cleanse. And I invited a bunch of people to come and be sexy raw vegans and do the juice cleansing with me. And
So
we had
from the start, you had this sexy raw vegan brand, right?
this is how the brand came about. And we were a bunch of people juicing together. And because I had gotten so savvy and knowledgeable about raw food and really was just jumping into it, I was really willing to help a lot of people juice cleanse
When
and
did
give my
this
information
happen?
here. And
When did it?
I knew being provocative, Louis, was always going to get people's attention. So I kind of have a knack for that.
And when did this happen? I mean, when did you
We're
start?
Well,
Because
this was about, yeah, this was actually about 2.5 years ago.
2.5 years ago.
About 2.5 years ago. And so since then, I lost just within that 6 week period, I lost the rest of that weight, and my weight actually settled under 120 pounds, which if you had asked me a few years ago, I would have said, oh, I can't weigh that, it's too skinny. But it's not really. We have a very skewed version of the weight fat ratio scale in the United States of what women should weigh. But we should keep our bodies on the leaner side as we grow older. We don't need as much of fat on us during adolescence, during puberty, and even during childbearing years, you just don't need that much fat in your diet. And so this is something I learned from Dr. Doug Graham. He wrote the book, The 80-10-10 Diet. And someone gave me this book right then, right as I was doing that juice cleansing, and I had gotten rid of fat. And I was so lucky that someone gave me that book because it's just jam-packed full of the basic of nutrition for our species-specific diet. Boom. That's it. People can argue all they want about protein. They can argue all they want about fats in the diet. But to be at your optimal health, and I now am an athlete, not a professional athlete, not a competitive athlete, but I am an athlete. And so I need to fuel my body and I need to fuel my ambitions during the day with the proper diet. And I'm reaping the benefits of that. And that's really what is the most important thing. So does that help you, Louie? That's kind of my story.
And you are making a mix here very good because you are sexy, you are an athlete, you are healthy, you are vibrant. It's fantastic. And with the diet, right?
Well,
The
you
secret is
can't
the
you
diet.
can't really deny humanity's affinity for things sexiness and for having a visual impact by things that are pleasant to the eye, and the human form is very pleasant in its fit form. And I like to show that of any age because beauty is really so incredibly diverse.
Talking
And
about age, you are over 50. Am I
no,
wrong?
I'm not over 50. I'm 48.
Oh, sorry for that. But you
That's
seem
not a
so
problem. That's not a
young,
problem.
so much younger.
Thank you, thank you.
I
I
concluded that because my wife bought your book and she's going to be 50 this year.
She
And
is.
she's your, no, you are her idol, you know, your
Well,
model, role
tell her for
model.
me that she is my idol because it's not easy in this world to take this upon yourself. You know, in my world, I live in a very suburban area in New England, and a lot of women are on a battle of a gym, a diet, a binge, and too much alcohol in their life, and too much coffee in their life.
Yeah,
And they're stimulating themselves to death, you know. If you find your stimulation organically through nature and through sunshine and through fitness and through relationships and through service to people, these are valuable stimulants to your system. But in our society, with the alcohol, the tobacco, the pharmaceuticals, and the caffeine, we're just a cocktail of stimulation all the time. We don't even know what it feels like for the bliss of 5 minutes of meditation on the wall of the seawalk or in your backyard under a tree. And becoming very in tune and grounded to the world around you. You know, I can't stress enough that it's human. It's not hippy dippy. It's not light and love for everybody. It's humanity. And until we get that, we're going to be always, you know, pulling at both ends. We pull on the stress level and we pull on the other end of a bad diet. And right in the middle, we don't get any sleep. You know, so
that's
there's no
right.
recharging of these batteries every day. And people run out. They run out. They get in their 30s, 40s, and 50s, and they're like, what is there?
It is strange because most women want to be beautiful, but they don't want to go out of these bad habits, right? They
Well,
stay.
you know, there's a reason for this, and it's not their fault. There's highly addictive substances in food,
Sure.
especially in cheese. Cheese has casomorphine in it. Now, the casomorphine is so that the baby cow goes and finds the right baby mama, right? And the morphine is the same kind of chemical makeup in a human being as morphine. It's quite addictive. And so for people to really pull away from cheese, but then to see it, because cheese is actually in everything.
Yeah,
You
it's
cannot go to a
incredible.
restaurant and every entree is cheese. It
Incredible.
usually always meat, but cheese too. And so this is a tough thing for women to, and it's comforting to them, you know. They're undercarved, Louis. Do you understand what undercarved means? You understand
I
what this means?
understand that, yeah.
Yes.
You
It
can
means they're
explain to our
not getting enough
audience.
glucose in their body during the day. Pure glucose. They're getting too
Right.
high of fat, so the fat sits in their bloodstream. It's sluggish, okay? And they're not getting enough pure carbs. I'm not talking refined sugars. That stuff burns in and out. I'm talking about real good carbs with fiber. It's a slow you know, it slowly goes through your system. And so those foods will fuel people throughout the day. And they're not. Come at 4 and 5 o'clock, they're usually coming home from a job or the rest of the family's coming home and they're faced with then whatever their day was and then another load on them of family responsibilities.
It's
And
incredible, yeah.
they're tired, they're beat. My raw food takes 5 minutes to make and 5 minutes to clean up, right?
Yeah, and
And my
it's
kids
much better.
mono eat. They mono eat. It keeps them fueled throughout a day so they're not always like behind. They're not always lagging in energy. You know?
Well, speaking about women, still speaking about them.
Let's speak about
Yeah,
women.
yeah, I love about speaking about women. Well, tell us something about your programs, your services. I mean, the Sexy Raw Food and Fitness.com project and your products and so on, and
Well,
services?
I'll tell you that my website is very popular. When I look at the insights, I have 10 million followers, which is awesome. But for me, it's also an obligation.
Is
I
awesome.
need to be provoking people to think and to think outside the comfort zone that you say so many women are in. Because nobody is an advocate for your body but you. It's the only thing that you own in this world.
And
Listen,
and what are the ages of women who purchase your products and services? I mean, do you have an idea about this?
you know, everybody wants to be sexy from 12 years old to 102. I have clients that I've had for a while. They're in their 60s and 70s, and I've been training young teenagers, women in their 20s, 30s. The women that are in my crew are in their 20s, 30s, 40s, and me at 48, almost 50.
But you don't seem, you seem much younger. It's
Thank
fantastic.
you. Thanks. So we run the gambit because, it's a thing. These women, when they reach their late 30s and 40s, start to become thicker.
Yeah,
And
it's incredible.
their necks, their
People,
backs, their waistlines, and
they
it's
associate,
feminizing.
they associate age with fat, right?
It's silly. It's stupid. It's just stupid. Why have we been pigeonholed like this? I don't know. But this is a way for freedom, and it's easier, Louis, than any kind of training program or a diet plan.
We
It's
are in
easier.
with a raw vegan diet. I don't know if you saw a movie with Justin Timberlake. It's in the future, and people don't age in that movie. And he has a mother who seems younger than he. She's beautiful. And do you think we could go in this direction with being raw vegans?
Um, I've hung around some longevity lectures, and I've seen a lot of things and talked to some people about it. I don't think that we can increase our longevity. I think you and I have a finite amount of heartbeat. I don't think that it's only 100. I think we could live to be 110, 120. I do believe that the more wild, organic, tropical fruit that we eat as a generation, and the generations that come beyond us, may be able to live longer. Yes, yes,
Longer and stay thin and beautiful and
yes.
sexy,
Well,
right? It's
free
fantastic.
radicals age you. The
Yeah.
more the more you do, and the more stresses you have on your life, and the worse foods that you eat, they bang together and create some horrible stuff in your body. And I mean, refined sugar and fake stuff like that ages the body. It's just no
No, but
good.
I'm talking about raw vegans because if someone chooses this road,
Yes.
it's
Well,
very possible that
a
people won't age so much.
yeah, there is some people that go vegan, and they sometimes become a little more unhealthy. And even some people that are trying very gourmet raw dishes. It's not healthy to have a high fat diet. Irregardless if you are
Yeah.
vegan, non-vegan, having a high fat diet is not healthy. I don't agree with the paleo diet. I think the people are making their arteries extremely fat, and they are murdering my friends. So I don't agree with the paleo diet, but I do think that the fact that they're having less fat in their diet is very beneficial. Anyway, anyway. So
Well, let's talk
people
about
starting out
something.
this diet have to understand they got to keep that fat percentage down. And they'll never
Right.
have to worry about fat as long as they keep that in mind. And it's pretty easy on a raw vegan diet, Louis, because overt fats come in the form of oils, right?
Right.
Avocados,
Right.
nuts, and seeds. And coconut meat if you have access to fresh coconut meat.
Right.
They have a high fat in them. So you use them sparingly, you use them well, still partake in them, but you use them in your diet to spread the fats out. Okay?
Right.
And when you start to eat this way, you will know right away if you have too much fats that day, because your body, it tells you, right?
Right. I feel that way if I eat too much fat. I'm practicing the 8-10-10 diet. I agree with you.
Are you? Okay, good. Excellent.
Yes.
And especially in the United States, we're coming into the spring and the summer months. It's really easy for people to try it out. Now is a good time, with
That's
all
right. But here in Brazil, we are going through autumn now, and we will be soon
Oh,
during
you will.
winter.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm afraid about that.
When we have our retreat in Costa Rica, it's the very beginning of the green season. So after the dry season, everything is going to explode in color and green.
Fantastic.
It's going to be amazing. And it's mango season.
Well, let us speak about something that I find really sexy, and I will share my screen here to show to our audience. Well, this is your page on Facebook,
Yes, that
Sexy
is.
Raw Food and Fitness,
It is.
and you have here the Hindu squat.
Yep. Now, if you're a girl, because we want the girls to feel really, how about that hiney, man? You just want to spank it.
Yeah, you mean,
If
here. I'd love to spank that.
if you're a girl, come on in. We're trying to keep it on, just to the girls so that they can be very open with their experience. But I'll tell you what, Louie, so
Tell me.
empowering to do 100 squats a day. So empowering. It really, not only do you start to have a different form, but you make your glutes a little tighter, a little stronger.
And I love the 2 reasons that you are inviting people to do it, right? It's fantastic.
You only need those reasons.
Did you create that?
What's that?
Did you create that picture?
Yeah. No. That I got the picture from somewhere and played with it.
Fantastic.
So yeah,
It's a very good
like
picture.
being provocative, women don't mind as long as it's on their terms, right?
Right.
They don't want to have Hooters girls in their faces. No, but they do like sexy fun, and it's funny. The older women get, the more they become free with their sexuality, and it's almost so sad. And I know every one of those women would say, if I had to do something different, I would be more sexual. I would be more in tune to the sensual part of my being, and have fun with it. Okay, my husband and I have been married 26 years.
Oh.
And we're just crazy in love with each other. And, we went through a period that wasn't fantastic when the kids were all, in those busy young teenage to teenage years, little kids to teenage. And
How old are they now, Drew?
23, 18, and 15. Yeah.
You started very young.
not so young. So, but when I became vegan and raw vegan, it brought the sexiness out of me. And then my husband is a very good man, and he adopted so much of what I was doing. He had just been diagnosed as pre-diabetic.
Oh, and
so I went through this program and was doing it with him just for a few weeks, and whoop, turned it right around. He was not really heavy, but he had 20, 30 pounds in his belly, and it just went away. And he looks great now. People think he's very young, when they see him. So.
And this is important to men as well, right?
Say that again?
I was saying that it's important to men too.
Listen,
feel sexy, even if we don't say
by the time they're in 40, 50 years old, and circulation in their body isn't running as good as it used to, right?
Right.
They don't have the stamina. They don't feel as masculine. And a lot of men are very they do a lot extrovertly to take care of that. They'll be a better dad. They'll be a better everything in their life, but not taking care of themselves, right?
Right.
You know, pornography and the vast popularity of the internet in the last 20 years has created a little something different in the human male. And it's a need for that sexual release and the excitement in their minds.
I see.
It's not a great thing. Porn's not a great thing. But what men can do, and the love that they have for just that sexual feeling, and that it's not wrong that they're turned on, and it's not wrong that they have things that they're turned on to that are legal.
Right.
And don't exploit anybody. But, you know, becoming a raw vegan and owning their body and becoming an athlete. We should all be athletes. Listen, if you couldn't run a few thousand years ago, you were eaten.
Right.
Okay? You need to run. It's part of being human. We can run further than any other animal on the planet. Okay?
That's very cool. It's like the 10-10 diet,
You
right?
ran and a
Wow.
horse ran for 5 miles. You could eat a date or nothing and just keep running, right? That horse is going to be panting and has to stop, and usually has to go to a water hole for a while.
That's
You
incredible.
know very well carnivores have a very fast sprint, but then they run out of energy.
Right.
Humans, my friends run 50 and 100 miles, all right?
Fantastic.
My friend Victoria Arnstein ran her very first 50-mile race and won for her age group, and she had only eaten 3 dates.
And she is married to Michael
Michael
Arnstein.
Arnstein, yes, the fruitarian, yeah, and you know his exploits. He's just phenomenal in his athletic endeavors on mostly a fruit-based diet. I mean,
It's
we are
fantastic.
long-legged, long-armed, grabby hands, perfect for picking fruit, perfect for
Yeah,
peeling it, right?
I love that.
Take any food on the planet that humans consider food. Take a grain and put it underneath your nose, and how do you react from it? You sneeze, achoo, right?
Right.
If you take potatoes or sweet potatoes and smell it, you'll smell the dirt, but it won't elicit a response in you, right? And
That's
so, meat and dairy, you take them in their raw forms, and your body actually will repel from it.
Sure.
Okay? You know, what else do people eat in its raw form? Well, vegetables, not so much. I mean, if you put a carrot underneath your nose, it may be sweet, probably not. You know, carrots, the way that they looked a few thousand years ago is not what it looked like now. It's not a big orange carrot. It was a nasty little root thing. If anything, the greens. See, this is the thing. The
And it's
greens,
harder to pick as well, right? Because
well, the greens
it's
of the
under
beans,
the earth.
they have as much nutrition, actually more nutrition than that root. So maybe when those greens were baby and tender, a human would eat that, right?
Sure.
So let me go on now. So if you now saw fruit, Louis, just the visualness, the different colors and the spectrum of fruit makes your body respond, right?
Right.
Bring it to your nose and smell it. Most fruit has an oil on its outside and it will emit a smell. Squeeze it a little bit and your mouth will start to salivate, right? And if you
Sure.
open that fruit up and take another big whiff, your stomach will actually lurch in anticipation. I mean, that's so sexy, isn't it?
Yeah, that is.
And you know what? Even if you're full, it will still react that way because fruit is so very human. It is. I mean, if you think about the equatorial rainforest where humans first came from, and if you look at some of that fruit, it's so erotic looking. It's
It
so
is.
juicy, and I mean, it
I
looks
love
like
to hear to you.
it's just like it's got all these colors, and it looks so inviting. You just want to put your face in it.
Yeah. So fruits are erotic, right? I
Very,
love that.
very. But so are humans, right? Or
And so
humans.
are humans. Humans are very erotic. And
The further we get away from that, you know, the more we put a burqa over our sexuality, is the further we get away from being human. You know?
yeah,
Yeah.
yes. You summarized the concept here. It's fantastic. Tell us something
Trying to
about
visualize
your
a burqa over that.
Tell us something about your sex raw vegan crew and retreat, please.
Yeah. Actually, I wish I had prepared you some pictures. We've got Angela, who is our masseuse, who does range.
Are they in your blog?
Yeah, probably on the
I
blog.
can find it
Under
here.
under retreats, maybe.
I will share the screen here again, and we can.
I'm drinking what I call neon rocket juice. This is 1 cup of pineapple, 2
Okay.
oranges, and a big handful of arugula, which they call rocket, le rocket, arugula.
Oh,
Yum.
and you just shared a very interesting recipe. Well, let's come here
Go
to
down. If you go down a little, yes.
yeah,
Yep. There's Rebecca. She's doing the back handspring. This is the
Rebecca.
retreat that's Angela right there. This is the retreat that we're doing in
Oh, Rebecca is this one? Oh, Rebecca is
that's
here.
Rebecca, yeah. We're
And
doing
here
this
it's
retreat in
Angela.
the Outer Banks of North Carolina. We're renting out that big mansion right there. You see it?
It's so fantastic.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun. I can't wait.
I can feel the fun even before the the retreat, just by looking it. Look at the pictures here. And what about Costa Rica? Costa Rica, do you have something from
You
Costa
can go
Rica?
to sexyrawveganretreat.com.
Okay, let's do that.
We have a
Sexy
landing site for the retreat.
retreat. How many women are coming to the retreats?
How many women?
Yes.
Um, well, the first retreat that we're having at the Outer Banks, we have a few couples coming, and then the rest are women, so this is about 20 women.
20
And
women.
the
Uh,
Costa Rica retreat, we've got it's halfway booked up, and it's all women so far.
are men allowed
Oh,
too?
absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, we're going to be doing, I mean, you want me to tell you some of the things we're doing there?
Sure, I want to know
I mean,
what you are doing
every day
there.
we awaken with a surf fitness, you know? And me and Amanda, who you saw,
Yes.
we're going to run an awakening, body awakening fitness with the sun, the beach, a little run, a little jog. We're going to have fresh coconut water mixed with either pineapple or mango or lime. And that's available for that first session, you know, to get all the electrolytes and get your body energized. And then we're going to come back and we're going to have a nice big green juice. Okay,
Okay.
there's going to be a green juice and a green smoothie bar available 24/7 at the retreat. But we have specific times and a protocol in which we're trying to make sure everybody gets the right nutrition, you know. Because sometimes people get so busy or tired and they don't eat, and we really need them to keep eating. So they do a green juice and don't eat, and we're not eating food yet because we're going to go do a yoga session. And Rebecca runs the most incredible yoga, and it's a real great experience, but we really don't want to eat too much before then. Yeah, that's me. That's me and Amanda. When we were down at the resort, you can see the resort behind me. You
Yeah,
know,
it's fantastic.
it's fully renovated, brand new.
What's
Oh
the
my God.
city in Costa Rica?
It's Jaco. It's a legendary surf town, Jaco in Costa Rica. And the weather there in June is just so perfect because it backs right up to the rainforest and it's the wet season. So everything is going to be so vibrant in color, as if it could be more colorful.
So the nature will be sexy and you will be sexier.
Yes, well, you know, it's to cleanse. and
Mm-hmm.
it's to experience the atmosphere of Costa Rica. We're going to
Mm-hmm.
be doing bonfire belly dancing on some of the nights.
Oh, you
During the
need
day,
to film this.
oh yeah, actually, there's going to be a film crew there that's going to be documenting the week. So,
Fantastic.
and we've got professional photographers there taking pictures of people are going to be going into the canopies of the rainforest and doing zip lining. And we'll
Oh,
take hikes to the waterfall. There's 3 days sessions of surfing. Beginner to elite is going to get coaching on how to surf. And if they don't want to straight up surf, they can do stand-up paddle boarding.
how long does it last? I think it's 10 days or
7 days.
7 days. Okay.
7 days. 7 days.
7 days.
7 days.
Fantastic.
So we have a very good offer. Two people, 1 to 2 people, 2,500, and up to 4 people is only 3,000. So if you've 4 people in the room, it comes to like 750 each, and it's all inclusive. That's all the activities, all the food. We're even picking people up at the airport in a green juice party bus.
It's very, 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 very affordable because usually you would pay 100 bucks at least for just for the hotel, right?
Yeah, we have an opportunity
It's
here. I mean,
fantastic.
our friends Lily and Jason have this amazing boutique hotel, and they would like to partner up with Sexy Raw Vegan crew and run retreats out of here in 2014. And so we want to put one together really affordable so that we can make it happen. And we're so excited about it. I have people coming from all over the world that are experts in so many different areas that are going to be contributing to the raw education of everybody. Because that's really what it's about. You know, when I cleanse people with juices and mono eating and smoothies,
What
then
are those? Who are those experts who are coming? Can you mention some of them?
the experts that are coming,
Yes.
yeah, no, you know what? We'll put them on our site. We don't want to put their names out and commit them to uh, to the airways. We want to make sure they want people to know besides the attendees. I mean, the
Oh, I
attendees.
see. Okay, no problem.
Yeah.
Don't worry. Then this is
But
secret.
you'll see them on tape either way, right?
Right.
Can't avoid
Oh,
the photographers. But yeah, so anyways, the idea here, our mission is to cleanse people to awaken their bodies. You know, after they do that yoga, there's going to be tables lined with all this gorgeous tropical wild fruit that we have delivered right from the jungles every day. And they're just going to be able to gorge themselves on as much fruit as they want. And then there's coconut water. And then we have a 3-hour period where everyone gets to just chill. And then we have scheduled massage sessions.
oh,
Well, some people are
so
chilling while others
fantastic.
are getting massage. Some people are taking showers. And then we all get together for activities. And the activities, like I said, are surfing or zip lining or acro yoga. You know, we're just going to have so much fun. And then at the end of the day, people get together, and we have a meditation.
So the North Carolina retreat is next week, right?
That's next week. That's all sold out, and we're starting on the 20th of April, and that'll be a week long
If
retreat.
people want to enroll, how can do they that?
Well, that retreat is sold out.
Oh, it's sold out.
Yes.
So I'm sorry, who are watching,
You
too
can do it
late.
next year.
But you can go to Costa Rica. When is
I
the Costa
recommend
Rica
Costa
retreat
Rica.
going to
I
be?
recommend Costa Rica. If I wasn't throwing this big, wild, organic juice party, I would go. Um, yeah, and so every day, we're going to end the evenings with some raw food lecturing,
What
some
are the dates for
seminars.
the Costa Rica retreat?
Say that again?
When is it happening? In
June 22nd to June 29th.
Mm,
The
26.
airport is the San Jose airport, and it's a little
Okay.
under 2 hours to get to Jaco. And so we're going to pick everybody up in a bus. That's included in their fee. You know, it's pretty incredible. And on the bus ride, everyone gets to know each other, and we're going to give them a schedule for what the week and give them a lowdown of what to expect. And, you know, it's a great time for everyone to, you know, to do that little meet and greet.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Drew, for coming here. It was a pleasure to talk to you, especially about this team, you know, because I really appreciate the work you are doing, because I remember many years ago when people associated vegan as something ugly, maybe too fat, too skinny, you know, and now you are making something so cool. You are proving that you are sexy and you can make all women who want to be sexy too. It's
Yeah, you
fantastic.
know, I have some incredible testimonies, Louis. I'm so very lucky that I get to do what I do. And when I wake up and I'll get an email or a message on Facebook, and it just brings me to tears to see how empowering it is for the women. I care deeply about the men, but I know that for many relationships, it starts with the lady and it starts with the woman. And when she changes and brings raw love into her life, it spreads to her man, you know?
Sure.
And I really love to talk to young moms, you know, because if they can start the kids real early with some basic habits and principles, those kids will stick with it through their life because it makes them feel good. And they'll always come back to that. And the next generation is the one that's got to say, you know, that they don't want processed fast food anymore. They don't want sodas. They don't want to live that life anymore. You know,
And everything starts with a mom, you know,
what's
someone
that?
who has a baby now.
Yes,
It's very responsible for that, right?
yes, yes. And many people in the medical industry and in the health business mean well. They really do mean well, but they don't know a lot of the times what really is going on inside a human body in response to medications and in response to the diet. And but it's, you know, there's a lot going on in this whole health industry because the results are undeniable. And when people are healing themselves by eating a cleaner diet and being more fit, those results speak volumes. The fact that I can run a 10K every other day is extraordinary for me, who I had asthma and I couldn't run and I ran wrong. I get a heel strike with
So
my,
with the raw vegan diet, you cured asthma.
yes, grains.
Oh,
Grains. Grains cause inflammation in every single human that ingests grains. Have you heard of the term gluten intolerancy?
yes, sure.
That means a person is toxic to grains. Toxic. So that means the rest of humanity that's eating grains is just at war. Their body's just at war fighting it. Now,
Inside of it.
yeah, yeah, and if you are eating grains, your body's responding with inflammation and mucus. Okay. So if that mucus, you have a mucus lining on your lungs, right?
Right.
And there are allergens in the world, but most human bodies can fight most allergens if they have a clean body. But if your body's busy fighting grains, which, if you're not aware of it, there are grains in a donut. You know what I mean?
Sure.
There's grains in bread. There's grains in pasta. There's grains in anything that says whole wheat.
That's
So,
right.
and they use grains as fillers in processed foods. So it's insidious. It's in everything. So removing grains remove the inflammation from my body. And then I didn't have asthma. I didn't respond to grass. Well, actually, I think my body still did respond with it with histamines, but it controlled it. And because it didn't have to fight against the dairy, the meat, and the grain that I no longer was eating. So, but grains made a huge difference in my health, omitting grains. And I
Yeah.
hadn't reached gluten intolerance yet, but I just felt such a big advantage in my health when I omitted grains. Yeah.
That's a
So
fantastic
I do want
testimonial.
to send shout out to the Kiwi runners in Australia. My friends Jeanette and Alan Murray are running around Australia.
I saw that.
They're
I'm
running a
fantastic.
marathon a day for
Yeah,
365 days.
it's incredible.
It's incredible. And she beat cancer with a raw vegan diet. And so she's
Oh,
celebrating that at 65 years old.
fantastic.
I'm joining them in November in
Really?
Adelaide, in Australia.
You are going to run marathons with
I'm
them
going to
too?
go run a marathon with them, and that's why I am training.
Oh, see, show your shoes, please. Fantastic.
These are Nike Frees. They are minimalist shoes. I don't wear the toe shoes, but I run in bare feet a lot. And you know, it's getting warm here. I'm going to start to run in bare feet again. I do it a lot, and it's really healthy for you. But more important, running. The reason I can run without injury is because raw food and sleep, they make you recover at night. So you can do it in the morning. I've got no soreness, no muscle soreness. I don't have a recovery time because of that. Okay, and the other thing is all the live enzymes in raw food just really go and fix and heal, repair. You know, it really helps your body to do that, okay? And also the way I run now, Louis, I don't have a heel strike anymore.
Mm-hmm.
I run on my midfoot, okay? I'll show you. The mid part of your foot is right here,
I see.
right? It's not necessarily your toes. It's not necessarily your toes, but it's right before there. Lean a little forward. Forward. Run on your midfoot.
I'm learning to do that too.
No injuries that way.
Yeah, it's much better. I'm starting to do that too, and I love it.
So I also want to say, you know, the Hindu squats that we were talking about before, that group where you show the tushy. There are three things that we've got over 700 girls doing this, and what they do is 100 squats a day. You work up to doing them with sets. You know, you do 10 repetitions in one set, and then you do 10 of them, and you work your way up to it. You can split them in the morning and in the evening.
Tell us something about that. I mean, the results you are getting from the people who are participating.
Yeah, they're all like my tush is tight. It's a little higher. So people can't believe their stamina they have, and then at the same time, you know, we're talking about food, and people are learning a little bit about raw food as they go.
Sure.
So also now that was March's challenge. So as we get into April, everyone is supposed to be running 2 miles now every day.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah.
So you are going to have another challenge for April.
Yeah, and a lot of the people haven't run before. And so this is all new to them. But running sets you free, you know. When you can run, it's just just to know that you can hit the ground and go a few miles.
It's liberating, right? You have a great sensation, a great feeling. I agree with you. Well, Drew, thank you so much. Now I have my last question to you.
Yes, sir.
A very important question. Well, in one sentence, comparing the person who you were before with the person who you are now, what is your raw vegan power?
What is my raw vegan power? Wow.
Yeah.
Being provocative.
Oh, that's cool.
You know, I know how to put things together to draw attention to vegan, and you know, I love what I do, but my main goal is to save animals, and I want people to stop eating them, period. It's what drives me to do everything I do, but I also feel helping people along the way is a very noble way to help this movement, and it's what I'm best at, and so that's what I'm going to do.
It's a win-win-win situation. Everyone wins, right?
Yeah, yeah.
The
Exactly.
animals win too. It's so cool.
It is cool. It is cool.
So your raw vegan power is being provocative. I
Yeah.
like that. Love that. Well, thank you so much, Drew. It was a great pleasure to have you here
Thank you.
today.
It was a pleasure to meet you, and I hope I see you in Costa Rica.
I will love if I can go. I am dreaming about going. And you who are watching this interview now, go now to sexyrawveganretreat.com and take a look at the great stuff that there will be happening
I agree.
in Costa Rica next June. Okay, Drew, thank you so much. Bye bye.
Thanks, Louis. Bye.